Welcome everyone. Today we are going to have our lesson on comparing slopes. Tomorrow we have a quiz on 3 things: how to find slope given a graph, how to find slope given a table, and how to find slope given 2 points. Okay, and then so in this lesson we're going to be reviewing those 3 things, and we're also going to then be comparing the slopes. We might be comparing a graph with a graph, or a graph with a table, or a table with 2 points. This actually, as we go through it, is part of your homework. Your homework tonight is to finish 6 stations. So if you want to print off those 6 stations, or if you want to start kind of filling it in with us, that's perfect, because that's what we did in class, is that we started the homework together and then they had to finish the stations tonight. This one will go in the grade book, so make sure you keep it and turn it in when you return. All right, so let's start with station 1. We have Amy and Mary. They are saving money each week. It says each of them saves a fixed amount every week. In other words, they save the exact same amount every week. They don't switch it up. The graph below shows their savings over time. So we're going to start with Amy, and we want to see how much money Amy saves per week. So the first thing we have to do is pick 2 points. Okay, so a lot of students today would pick the point 0, 0. I think that's a great idea, is to pick the point 0, 0 if it's there. And then we want to pick another point. Now, a lot of people went up to right 1 and wanted to do that point, but if you look at that, that puts us at a half a week. And I don't want to deal with fractions, so I'm not going to do a half. I'm going to go up to 1 week and see how much money she has saved after 1 week, which was 44. Okay, so if I'm trying to find that rate of change, I'm going to do, again, rise over run. And our rise here, I went from 0 to 44. That was a change of 44. And our run was 2 boxes, but remember, we have to look at our scale. I went across 2 boxes. I went from 0 weeks to 1 week. That was a change of 1 week. So if I made my fraction of rise over run, that would be 44 over 1. So how much money does Amy save per week? She saves $44 per week. All right, now let's do the same thing for Mary. Again, we can use the point 0, 0. And I'm going to skip the half, go to 148. We're going to do our rise, which was a rise of 48. We went from 0 to 48. We're going to do our run, going across the bottom. We went from 0 weeks to 1 week. That was a change of 1. So 48 over 1. So how much money does Mary save per week? $48 per week. So if this pattern keeps up, predict who you think is going to save the most money after 20 weeks. Well, who's saving more? In this case, Mary is. And whenever we have to explain or justify our answer, we usually like to put in some kind of math for it. So I would say how much more she's saving every week. So Mary is saving $4 more every week. Okay, now just to practice for your quiz, we also had these 3 questions. If you want to pause it and try it on your own, and then see if you got the answers right, and then play the video again, that would be perfect. Go ahead and pause now if you'd like to try it on your own. Okay, here are the answers that you guys should have gotten. When that goes straight across the page, that is a slope of 0. When we have a table, remember, we find what the x's were changing by. They were going up by 4. The y's here were going down. They were going down by 3. When we make our fraction, remember, it's y's on top, the change in y over change in x, so -3/4. All right, and the last one, you had the option, yesterday we learned of doing a table or doing the formula. Most people in my classes have preferred the table, sorry. Remember, when you put them in the table, you have to put them in the correct spot. So -4 is my x and 5 is my y. And -3 is my x and 8 is my y. So let's find what the change was. Now, a lot of people messed up the left side. I went from losing $4, so I'm -$4, but now I'm only -$3. That was one better, not one worse. And then 5 to 8 was going up 3. Remember, our y's go on top, so 3 over 1, which equals 3. Okay, so that's it for station 1. Let's do station 2 together. Okay, so station 2 here, this time we have a graph and a table and we're comparing the two. So Ethan and Miles are both deep sea divers. Both divers were exploring a sunken ship. The information below shows their depth in feet, which is the y-axis, in regards to their time in minutes. Okay, I'm going to start with Ethan. Again, I can use the point 0, 0. Now, there are a lot of points that are really close, but there are 2 other points that are exactly perfect. One of them is 5 minutes and negative 400 feet, and 10 minutes and negative 800 feet is the other one. So I'm going to use those points. You only need 2 points. I have 3 there, so you could choose any of those 2. Now, if I start at 0, 0, I have to go down. Since I'm going down, that means our slope is going to be negative. And I'm going to go from 0, so water level, all the way down to 400 feet below. That's a change of negative 400. That is our rise. And our run, straight across, looking down below at the scale, and we went from 0 minutes to 5 minutes. That was a change of 5. So negative 400 over 5. If I simplify that, that would simplify to negative 80. So Ethan's rate of change is negative 80. Now, what does this mean in terms of real life? It means that Ethan, he goes down or dives down 80 feet per minute. So a lot of times we won't say negative 80 feet. We'll say he dives down negative 80 or dives down 80 feet per minute. Okay, let's do miles now. So miles, the minutes were changing by 5. Our depth was going down. You could use a calculator if you need to, but it was going down negative 475. If I make a fraction, do not forget that our y goes on top. And if I simplify that, it would be negative 95. And so what does that mean in real life? Again, he dives down, since it was negative 95 feet per minute. So who is diving down faster? Well, if Ethan goes 80 feet per minute and Miles goes 95 feet per minute, Miles is going down faster. All right, and last part that we're doing here together, if you want to pause it and try on your own and see if you got it, that would be great. Go ahead and pause now. And here are the answers that you should have gotten. So if I had chosen points, these were the points that are on my graph. I start at the left and I had to go down, which means our slope is going to be negative, and I went down 1 box and I went over 3 boxes. That was a slope of negative 1/3. All right, this one I kind of had a gap there. I didn't mean to, so fill in that gap if you haven't already. Our x's were changing by 1 and our y's were changing by 0. And if I made a fraction, y goes on top, 0 over 1. If 0 is on top, our answer is 0. All right, last one. Going to make a table here. And x is 3 and negative 2 is our y. And same with the next point, x is 3 and negative 6 is our y. Our changes in our x's were 0. Our changes in our y's, it went from losing $2 to now I lost $6. That was 4 worse. And when I make a fraction, again, y's go on top, so negative 4 over 0. And in class, we talked yesterday about remembering your undies, 0 under. Our answer is undefined. All right, so tonight's homework was to finish the other stations. And this is a grade that will go in the grade book. I have included answers so you can check your answers after you're done. Hope to see everybody soon. Bye.